All right, guys, thanks for coming. We got about 20 minutes of questions.
Oh.
Who wants to kick us off?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Daniel, you're kind of the professional who has been on professional teams before. What kind of experiences that brought to the team, and how have you kind of been able to help the others who have not necessarily been in that kind of environment before?
Well, basically we do replays, and then in replay analysis it helps me teach these guys what to do in certain situations, and in game it helps me shot call and think of what to do next, basically, the macro plays. Yeah.
If you could describe your team's play style in your own words and the strengths you have that other teams don't.
I don't think so. The casters think that.
Just kind of like depends. We don't. It's kind of slow and methodical, but it's like we don't take unnecessary risks. If you're 15 and they're 14, you might as well get 16 to get the extra talent before fighting. That's all. It's just why risk it when you can just play safe for an extra 30 seconds and then guarantee you win a fight.
Throughout the course of your rise through the brackets, who would you say was the biggest hurdle that you guys had to come across to get here to the Final Four?
I think probably Ohio State was the hardest out of all the teams that we've fought in this year's Heroes of the Dorm.
Yeah. So, I think that's more because of our draft than because of how they played. We drafted poorly game one, which led to a really long, 28-minute TK or Dragon Knight map. So,
That was also game 2, sorry.
yeah, that was game two.
We learned very much from that experience to really study how to draft. Well, I didn't. No, the team did. Dan here did. He really tried to learn how to really draft after experiencing the games against Ohio. Going, oh, we drafted really poorly. We need to learn how to do this better.
Yeah, it's funny if you look at the average game times before that game, and then after it's 2 minutes longer, just because that game went on for 30 minutes. It was insane. It was 30 minutes of fun though. Yeah.
So Adam, specifically for you, coming up as somewhat of an underdog throughout this tournament, I saw you guys had your eyes on, Heroic 4 the whole way. So kudos on making it this far. But specifically, Adam, when you watch the preview, which I'm sure all of you guys have seen for the tournament, they specifically point you out as being the guy that, the team kind of waits for you to make your move, and then after you go in, they all kind of just follow up and win team fights that way. How did it feel to have your name called out, in this huge ESPN level stage on this preview, saying that you're the guy that the team is kind of waiting on to make the move?
Feels good. I'm gonna throw the weight on Dan's shoulders. It's more of I sit there, and if I think it's good just from experience or experience in other games, I'll go for it. Otherwise, I'll get yelled at and then I'll go in. 50% Dan. That's why he plays Warrior too, right?
So going back to what you were saying about how you like safe bets, you like having the advantage. It's a good way to play. But this new big patch kind of came suddenly and late in the tournament. So do you think that was more of a hurdle for your team, since you'd like to have more secure knowledge in the game, the results?
Our team, we weren't able to practice as much as we wanted to because of midterms and schoolwork. But playing on the patch, we didn't think that there would be big enough differences to warrant a huge change in playstyle, especially in the Hero 4.
We only looked at the characters that we really thought were the ones that's gonna rise up above the others with the change to Illidan and
Just Illidan.
They brought it back just for dorms, probably.
Yeah, we dealt with that last year, so we're ready. We know the annoyance of that wonderful man.
just gonna ask for context. You have 7 people on stage here. Like, what are all your roles in the team?
So I'm the support player.
I'm specifically the ranged carry.
I flex, I guess. I just fill in for whatever needs to be done.
Just warrior.
I'm the sub. The sub.
The best sub.
Best sub.
I play flex.
I'm the mascot.
What's your training schedule been like leading up to the event, and how have you been balancing it with, midterms and social lives?
So we've obviously had a lot of schoolwork that we've had to deal with as well, especially like makeup work for this tournament. And so it's been tough. There hasn't been a lot of free time to just fool around, but we've managed to get some good practice in. And yeah, so it's pretty much just practicing and studying for the past couple of weeks. And yeah.
How many hours a week do you guys are getting in as a team?
It really differed per each person. For Dan and Mitchell, they really got a lot of games in every day. I pretty much refused to play by myself, and he was very angry about that. But until it was really necessary to practice right before the tournament started happening, I kind of refused to play unless it was like all 5 of us playing at the same time. And then once we got to the tournaments, we practiced like 2 to 4 hours each day, and we left 1 or 2 days open per week so that we could do all our homeworks and study for tests and all that stuff.
So, I mean, you're going up against like essentially the favorites in the tournament. I'm sure you've done a ton of research up against them and how they've been drafting and how they've been playing. Is there anything like specifically that you guys have been thinking like maybe you have an edge over them going into the match?
They play too aggressively if they underestimate their opponent. So I think that if they do underestimate us, the games will be pretty close.
Yeah, like before top 4, for most cases, I feel like you can get away with bad positioning and like certain things. Like no one's gonna really capitalize on it if you're in the back, just harassing. But I think all 4 teams here, if you're trying to do some weird flanking anything, you're just gonna get caught out and die and regret it. So hopefully they'll play a little too aggressive and realize we're not about that life. We like it slow, methodical. Quote all the casters.
You guys mentioned that you're making time for school. Has practice impacted that? Has it impacted your grades? Is that something that you guys worry about whether should I be hitting the books or hitting the PC?
I think some of us kind of made our schedules last semester knowing that Heroes of the Dorm might happen. So we kind of, like I know Jason and I both kind of geared it towards an easier year opposed to like taking like 5 labs or something that would take up a lot of time. So I think planning ahead was useful.
Do any of you guys have esports professional aspirations after college?
I'll probably play or try for the summer regional. But
I gave up. I pretty much gave up on League of Legends esports, and I think if my friends want to do more Heroes for college related, not actual esports, like professional things, I'll probably join them for the college related things, but not for actual pro scene.
What kind of support has the school given you? I mean, outside of obviously your friend and family circle, how many people like know that you guys are here playing for a scholarship?
I know Dan in my department, we spread it through there. It's a smaller department though, so they've been giving us a lot of praise, saying good job and stuff like that, giving us hats and other goodies, but the rest of the school's distracted with women's basketball, so it's kind of like women's basketball. Maybe you can find us somewhere. I think there was like 1 week they said something about us, but it's pretty unknown. UCONN's a pretty big school.
We did something for the school newspaper, or like an interview, a couple like days before the actual flight. So we don't know if that actually got posted or not because we're not there. But
Yeah.
hopefully there's something there.
Although the Hartford Current had us on the front page, so that was pretty cool. It's nice touch.
With this event being broadcast on ESPN, what does it mean to you guys to be able to share a sport you're very passionate about with an audience that's maybe never even heard of esports before?
I just kind of want to see the Twitter feed. Like last year, like everybody was like, "What is going on? Why is there video games on esports?" But in actuality, I think the rise of esports is something important that Heroes of the Dorm, or like Blizzard in general, has been touching upon, and they're doing a really good job. I want esports to grow, obviously, and hopefully this nurtures that.
Do you engage when people like troll you on Twitter?
Well, I didn't last year because I didn't have a Twitter, but maybe this year I'll troll them, give them some Twitch memes or something.
Are you worried at all about Tankless Illidan comps with it kind of making a bit of a comeback with the newest patch?
Tankless Illidan? I don't know.
Or just Illidan in general,
Yeah.
really?
Well, in uncoordinated teams, maybe, but I think we have what it takes to kind of shut him down and put him in his place.
It's funny. Last year we adapted to it mid-game in our top 16 match. We were playing against it, and we just didn't understand. He'd never die. He had a Tassadar, and then we're like, oh, we just killed Tassadar, and then he dies. And then so we won the game after that. It's just like we've dealt. He was, I think, stronger back then too, right?
He was a lot stronger.
Yeah, so it's we got this.
Any other questions for the guys?
Miss Stacks, are you raising your hand back there?
Have you guys noticed that people you've been playing against, specifically like maybe the more difficult teams like the Ohio State, or have you noticed a specific way they're drafting against you, who they're banning, or are they trying to take like Dan out of the match?
I think Berkeley banned DTC twice first ban because I think we drafted him twice just the day before or something. So they're like, obviously they did some homework, but I don't think, other than that, I don't think they've done anything else.
Dan's hero pool's too lengthy to ban him out. So
Plays every hero.
I also think that Berkeley tried way too hard to try to shut us down, and maybe they didn't play something that they wanted to play because they banned ETC and always picked Lee May no matter what the situation was.
Do you think Dahaka is draftable?
Well, we can't draft him today.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, we can't.
Okay.
We're going to first pick him. Don't tell them, though. We're going to first
Yeah,
pick.
just do it anyways.
I was sad about that. I was so excited for Dahaka. But no, if he was. Yeah.
I'm curious if you guys do any team building activities or retreats outside esports to bring your team closer together.
We're actually all friends. You know, we didn't do like drafts or tryouts. We didn't do any tryouts or anything like that. Like I know some of the schools did. We've all known each other prior to, so we just always play games. We eat lunch. One of the people that work for Tespa is in a Skype chat of ours, and all he sees is us like, oh, when are we going to lunch? Or are we going to dinner? When are we going to eat?
We had like movie nights and stuff like that. Just hang out all the time.
Yeah, 3 of us knew each other from middle school, and like another 2 knew each other from high school, and then we all met at the beginning of freshman year, even before Heroes of the Storm was like even announced. No, did we know Heroes of the Storm was announced? Like even Heroes of the Storm, beginning of freshman year. I don't think it was, because I know Ryan got the alpha during middle of like winter, so we actually didn't even know about Heroes of the Storm, and we all were friends from before any of this even began, and we just decided, all right, we're gonna do this as a team. And coming back this year, we're like, all right, we're only doing this with the same people, no tryouts again. We're doing this as the same team as last year, no one left behind, not even Ryan left behind.
Do you think that because you guys are friends before Heroes was even around, does that lend more trust between each other's decisions? Whereas if you're judging the new guy that's just been, put through the ringer to even join the team, how does that trust affect or not affect you?
I think it definitely helps us a lot because there is a lot of trust between us, and we can really just say what's on our mind freely between each other because we're just so close that the teamwork and coordination comes really easily.
We're all able to take criticism from each other without getting offended because we all know each other.
And between whose shot call is the best shot calling, we all clearly know that ignore everyone else, listen to them.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes.